Hello and welcome back to another episode of Football Tussle. As you can see, it's now
Oh,
back to two. That's the original crew.
I see. I
Anyway,
see.
that's good
I
stuff
see. I
there.
see what you're doing today. You Liverpool finally won a Liverpool finally won a game, and then you're back wearing the Liverpool
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Well, if you remember, I had the faith last week because I wore it in the last week's episode anyway. The other
Listen,
shirts,
listen.
the other
As
home
a
kits.
as an Arsenal fan now, I'm used to winning all the time now. I don't even need to even wear the Arsenal kit. It's a
It's true, it's
formality.
true. It's wonderful days for you anyway, still, but we'll get to Arsenal when we can anyway.
Go
But
ahead, man. Go ahead. Fire away.
let's start with let's start with the heavyweight game of the weekend, the clash of the titans, as they say, or the gladiators at the
Wow.
old fortress Anfield.
Glad you.
Liverpool versus a Man City, and what a game it was.
Nah, very good, very brilliant game. I think um, I watched that game, and for me, Liverpool. I think for me, Liverpool the better team. I feel like they look more threatening. City did have chances as well with the platters that the KDB was giving Haaland, and maybe the Ballon d'Or list today with Haaland being 10th or ninth or wherever it is
Yeah,
shows
10.
shows that maybe he's a top man, but is to be like a world beater, man. You should be burying those chances in those big games. Those are
True,
those are
true.
title deciding games, but I was happy for Liverpool because I want Klopp to still stay in the job, and I feel like Klopp's a good manager. But Liverpool over the course of the game were the better team, and I feel Pep's is it arrogance was awful for you not to make a change and then to bring Ole Alvarez on. I don't understand what Mahrez has done to him to be doing that, and then your 100 million man Jack Grealish, you can't bring him on in the game. How does Mahrez go be your top goal scorer last season? And then in the previous season, it was like a second top goal scorer to not feature in at all, but giving the guy a new contract. So well done to Liverpool anyway. I just want to say Salah was immense with the runs. Jota was quality, and then Nunes, he's a work in progress,
Oh
but
yeah, definitely.
he's got a raw talent. But kudos to Liverpool, kudos to Gomez.
Yeah.
Gomez was fantastic. I feel like I've been talking a lot as well, but yeah, and I don't know why Klopp played Van Dijk on the other side and Gomez to the other side because Gomez was more battling Haaland. But listen,
Haaland. But I
yeah,
think, yeah,
quality
yeah.
game. What a
Yeah,
tip.
definitely. It was a great advert once again for the Premiership. There still of what's it had. It was action packed from the first whistle up to the last, and
Yeah,
that's on the pitch as well as off the pitch. For
thanks.
me, when I saw the lineup there, especially at the back line there, I saw the OAP
You
playing
were
at right back.
panicking.
I
You were
thought, oh my
panicking.
God,
I know you were
Milner there
panicking.
at right back. He should be starting games. And I saw Gomez there, who's the last time he played in the centre defence, he had a nightmare that he had to even
Yeah, at half time.
put his own number up to say get me off in Naples or whatever. So
Yeah,
when I saw that and to actually shut out City in the Premiership, even for a team like Liverpool, because previous games have normally been 2-2 or something still, is an
yeah,
achievement in itself with the injuries that we had. And Klopp did well, as you said. He came with a bit of pressure into this game there, and he went with the right, what's it called, lineup, especially in midfield, in having Fabinho over Henderson because Henderson hasn't got the same defensive
no,
nous as
yeah,
Fabinho has. And
yeah.
as you said, Jota was like an engine up and down. Pity that he picked up an injury right at the end.
Too much
Still,
stretching.
hopefully,
It
it's not
was no.
serious for him because he does. These players are now picking up injuries, not just at Liverpool, all over, and
Yeah,
having the dream of World Cup be missed. So hopefully he's not another
yeah.
one that will be missing out on the
You know.
World Cup in November.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, Salah, he gave them a warning before, a couple of warnings before. Wonderful
Oh,
save from
that was a big. He missed one good one
Edison.
before that. The one with the left.
Yeah,
Just when he
and
should
then
have
he
done better
screwed
with
it
that.
past.
Yeah.
But Cancelo, what was you doing?
Too,
Schoolboy error.
too, too
Too
tight.
tight.
Too tight.
And the question, there's too many questions. There's too tight. Why didn't you go to the ball or do something, or
No,
maybe
no, no, no,
stay
no, no,
back a little
no,
bit
no, no, no,
more?
no, no, no. He couldn't stay
Where
back.
was Diaz? Where
No, no,
was
no,
the others?
no, 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 no. That was too tight. The thing is, Diaz couldn't
Yeah,
get back because Salah was fast. But
yeah,
when the ball come, if you're gonna come in like that tight, you win the ball.
oh
Because
yeah.
once that goes past you, that's it.
You're
So
finished.
for
You're
me, for
finished.
me, what I would have done as a defender myself, back in my days, should I say? But what I would have done when the ball came, I would have just, because obviously I know Salah's got the pace
and the strength.
And I would just back up a little bit. Now, if Salah does do me for pace, that is fine. But Salah could mistakenly push it too far, too wide.
There you go.
Or maybe someone recover.
Yeah.
You know, even though I saw KDB, I would have saw KDB trying to run back, and he didn't have the legs to make it. But
they all knew it was all over. All they were hoping for is either a miracle save again from Ederson or Salah to fluff his lines. But Salah doesn't fluff too many lines one-on-one. He's one of the best there still. And congratulations to him, because he's had a struggling season, and he's still struggling low in the goal counts, but very brilliant goal there for the Kop. There was a moment there where Van Dijk done a world-class defending, where that header, if he didn't flick it over the bar, Haaland was waiting there just to pull it in to make it 1-1 there.
That was good.
Let's talk about the goal. For me, not even being biased, for me, it was a foul. You could see his shirt was being grabbed for
No.
He might have had a foul on the goalkeeper, Alisson.
The
two fouls. Which one? It would have been a toss of a coin, because the goal wouldn't have stood even if they didn't go back to that Fabinho one, because he kicked it out of Alisson's hands.
No. You see, before I saw the foul on Fabinho, when I thought it was a foul on Alisson. When you watch it again, Alisson wasn't really strong with the hands on that. But I've seen it.
Hands when someone's kicking you.
No, listen. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen it blown for a foul. I've seen it given as a goal. So if the ref had said based on that decision that was a goal, I would have been like, yeah, you know what, that's fine. That's football these days. But
that's VAR anyway. Last week,
exactly.
Liverpool unlucky. This
exactly.
Week,
so the way VAR is
anyway. For me,
it was a foul. It was a foul.
Shot was pulled.
No, it was a foul. So, but it was a bit sour grapes from Pep saying, "This is Anfield." And then
he always says that anyway.
But to be honest,
the ref that he faced.
The ref was gone that game, because I don't blame Klopp being sent off. Fair enough, he apologized, but I'm with Klopp on that one, where he said, "How can the ref not blow that on a foul?" The guy was all over his shirt and on Salah.
The linesman was right there. So as you said,
that was shocking.
Good on what's it called? Yeah, Klopp had, even though he was out of control, rightly sent off, as you said. He's held his hand up and apologized. He'll have a touchline ban against West Ham on Wednesday, but he showed the passion, because really, it was a poor decision from the linesman and the referee. But kudos, as you said, to Liverpool. Hopefully that starts the engine where they can maybe win at least 5 or 6 games in a row. We'll see how it goes. We're not challenging, but at least get the engine started, and it shows there's still life in the old dog. Literally. But anyway, moving on to for Man City, it just be a little blip. We'll find out in their next game, because
I'm happy with the result. 4 points, anyway. Top of the table, baby.
But it's a blip. It's a blip, as they say. Bleep, bleep, blah. But anyway, moving on to a team that just can't stop winning, and that is the red side of North London.
You know what time it is? North London is red. You know what?
I tell you. Their best ever start, even as I keep saying, they're breaking records. Their best ever start, even when they were invincible season. They never started like this. Played 10 and won 9. My word.
We don't pay 4 points above the team. 4 points. You know what I mean?
Even though this is one of their hardest games that they played this season, they were lucky. They were lucky.
No.
Well done, anyway.
Listen. Don't confuse luck for skill.
Oh no! Stop that rubbish.
Don't confuse luck for skill.
You were lucky in that
game.
Don't
confuse luck for skill.
You deserve to win. I'll tell you that for sure.
What part were we lucky at?
No, you're lucky that Bamford, the big fool, blew himself by taking that penalty when he had no right to be taking a penalty.
He had no right.
But and
also, Ramsey had that covered anyway. Ramsey went the right way. He had that covered.
How many times have we seen goalkeepers go the right way and still be beaten? We'll talk about Harry Kane's penalty later on. But anyway, for me, Leeds played excellent in that game. It's unfortunate that they didn't get nothing there still, but the same old story. For a lower team, when you get chances against a top team, you have to bury it. And you won't get an easier chance than from the penalty spots. At least to take something from that game, even though they lost.
I would say, listen, that game was one of our hardest games, and obviously it's just a warning to Arteta as well, to that some of these guys might need a bit a rotation, and you can't be playing. I can't be seeing the same people there in Europa playing and Odegaard and Saka and stuff like that. You need
I'm
to,
surprised that he's
yeah,
risking them.
yeah. You need. I know he wants to keep the momentum and don't want them.
But you don't do it
Like,
that way.
but I feel
You
like
risk injuries.
you risk injuries. But I would just say one thing with Arsenal though: if Arsenal do not go ahead to finish in the top four, I
No. He has to be fired.
no. I listen. I would just say that would be a disaster from our standpoint right now. But number
Can he
two,
be fired? Yes or
yeah.
no? Does he have to be fired if you don't after the start like this and he doesn't finish in the top four?
I
Are you
don't.
telling me
Who's out there these days? Maybe what?
Oh, listen. If he doesn't finish in the top four after a start like this is almost as bad as Liz Truss is, what's it called? 4 weeks as PM or quasi part-time or whatever. 2 weeks at what's it called, Chancellor. You're telling me after a start like this, you don't finish in the top four minimum, you keep the job.
That is crazy. That is crazy. But I would just say this quickly.
Be strong. You haven't answered the question. You just all I heard was
I mean, you have to get rid because what progress are we really making if not top four? So yeah, definitely.
That'd be almighty collapse.
But I would say the Achilles heel Arsenal going to have this season is the defense. If it's not Gabriel making a mistake today, it's Saliba. I think both of them, they're good defenders. They're raw. It'd be like David Nunes, like I was saying at Liverpool. They raw. They're good defenders, but they got mistakes in them. So if it's not Gabriel today, it's Saliba. If it's not Saliba, it's like they're all taking turns to make mistakes. But we sort of, as a good team, we're riding it out. So
yes,
well done to Arteta once again. Well done.
Riding it out, and then if it's like this, as I said in previous episodes, if come March it's like this, where you're either top or under between 5 and under, it's on like a hot cake.
It's feasible.
It is.
I'll be like Luther King there. I have a dream there.
Why not?
Yeah, of course.
Anything can happen. That's how it starts. Moving on, Leeds should hopefully be all right this season, even though they're not picking up the results there. They will chances.
I've seen enough of every game. Every game with Leeds is a battle. He's done well.
Oh yeah,
you're in for it.
Moving on to the other side of North London and what's it called at the Hotspur Stadium there still. Once again, as I'm sure you're going to repeat yourself because it's like a broken record. Which game this season has Spurs played well in, but they're still grinding out the results? That's Conte's what's it called blueprints.
It's Conte's blueprint, man.
Some Spurs fans are what's it called? They're asking too much. They're saying, yes, we're challenging there at the moment, but I want us to play better football.
But listen, tell them to shut up. Tell them to shut up.
Thank you.
Tell them to shut up, man.
Jamie O'Hara was saying on TalkSport. Don't have your cake and eat it. Know your level there still.
Who's Jamie? Who's Jamie? Just because you come through there, shut up, man.
He's nobody as well. No, he was saying what you're saying. You've done him. You've done him.
No, it's true. Listen,
he's nobody anyway.
It is. But listen, obviously we got to sit here and say Spurs haven't really played or need to play better. But I'm saying that as an Arsenal fan. I'm saying that as a football pundit or talking right now. But as a Spurs fan, you should just keep quiet and just hopefully you guys get top 4, and then hopefully you guys could sneakily be at the back door.
Win something.
Win something. The last time they won something was what 2006. What Jonathan Woodgate? I can't remember. Or Dawson.
2008. Yeah, 2008.
Dawson. Yeah. So come on, man. And that was the League Cup. They ain't won nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
the good thing. I mean, what's it called? This game changed on what Pickford does quite a few times this season. Him and Hugo Lloris are known for it, where they have excellent games where they make, like through the season where they make some brilliant saves, and then they have that crazy moment. Games where they make howlers. He made 2 howlers in one. The first one, it was a routine save that he should have had. Next minute, it's come off the body, and next minute, Harry Kane, like what's it called? Like just
dive though.
Contact was there. Contact was there. Just like you said, where Thiago made contact with Jesus. Simple. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. For me, you were saying that was a penalty all day, any day of the week. For me, I'm not being biased, but it was a penalty. Contact was made with Pickford's head into the side of what's it called, Kane. And Kane was clever. Clever.
Your head could make you get out of here, man.
Contact was made. That's it. Simple.
Listen, for me, I thought that penalty.
The head be used to clear the ball.
For me, for me,
For a
for me,
goalkeeper?
for me, that penalty was soft. Listen, leg, head, foot, feet. Listen, for me, that penalty was soft. I feel like Kane dived, but this Harry Kane's been doing this for a minute now. He's when you have Salah on the top
Here we go. No,
yeah,
no, the
top
top
tier.
is still, even though he's retired, it's Robert Perez.
Please, that's please, people should know. Listen, there's Salah. You got Salah there, and then given right next to him, you got Harry Kane. But what
Even
can I
though
say?
Jesus is coming up, Jesus is moving up the table. The way he falls
But,
down.
listen, nah.
But anyway, good on Spurs.
Good on
What's it
Spurs.
called?
Good on
They're
Højbjerg as
grinding out
well.
results.
Good on
They
Højbjerg.
should
Højbjerg's been playing well.
Yeah,
Højbjerg's been playing well. Let it be known. He's been playing very well this season. Højbjerg.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's been playing very well.
Definitely shining, and he's coming up
No space
with goals
for
as well.
Yeah. That's the reason why Bissouma for a minute has been on the bench. You know, Højbjerg is because he's chipping in with the goals as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
And another thing is they're keeping clean sheets. They're hard to score against Spurs as well.
I'm surprised with those defenders. I'm surprised.
It's awful back there. It's rubbish.
I'm surprised. Langley, Davis. I'm surprised.
But when they've been tested, anyway, when they've been tested by a better team, like what you did to them, they were exposed.
Of course, so or in the Champions League as well.
There you go, still. So once again, Everton were finding. I mean, Everton were trying to keep it, as they said, hard to beat. But at the end of the day, Everton haven't got enough quality.
There's not enough. There's not enough attacking players.
There isn't. They've got these bit players where they're not enough.
They're not enough, man. I feel Everton this season probably target 15th. That's the
well, you done them still. I was gonna say maybe what's it called, 12th or something.
No, 15. Well, they got no strikers.
Our good friend Daisy Dean won't be happy with that predictions, but it's better than being relegated, isn't it? For
of course.
Hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on anyway, because of time permits, there's still the bandwagon at the bridge. The Potter stuff is going on there.
He's moving. He's collecting points along this way. He's collecting points. He's driving through each town and taking points. Listen,
is that him? Yeah. And it was a Mount Everest performance there from Mount there. He's woken up there still, because every time we see, why is Mount playing for England when he's been doing rubbish for Chelsea or average? But this was a game where he showed some quality there, even though it was a poor back header by a howler of a defender, Tyrone Mings. No wonder he's lost the captaincy. He's only playing at the back because of what's it called, the injury to their expensive defender. That header was clueless.
I think his dreads let him down.
And then your friend.
The dreads let him down on that one. The dreads was he let him down. Maybe next time just pack it to the back or just it
was a howler. But good finish from anticipation and finish from Mount. And then the free kick was quality, even though you have to ask questions about Arsenal's ex-goalkeeper Martinez. He took one step to the other side and next minute it was in.
And then he allowed the Chelsea. When the ball came through to him like that, he sort of didn't want to touch it.
I think he knew.
No, he didn't want to touch it. Then later he left it, and then the ball went in. I was like, "What are you doing?"
It's too late.
But Kepa though, Kepa.
Oh, super show, super Kepa show. He showed maybe why at one time he was the most expensive. I don't know if he still is the most expensive goalkeeper. They bought him about 3 years ago. Super show, but you have to ask questions, especially on Danny Ings' header. Should have scored.
Bailey should have scored it. They should have scored.
Good save.
Bailey should.
Villa have got a problem, even though that was Villa's best performance for a while. Where they deserve, for me, Villa deserve to at least come away with at least a draw. That showed you Potter, even though the bandwagon's going well, he knew that he made a mistake where he made 2 changes at halftime there because the formation was wrong, because they were being run ragged.
Yeah, man.
What's it called with a clean sheet still? They've done well.
I don't understand.
Potter's doing very well there still. Gerrard has got to just before maybe the World Cup break to try and sort out Villa there, because after the World Cup finishes, January's there, and late December, January, maybe a new manager will be brought in, because Gerrard is walking the plank. They don't like where they Coutinho, as I said, got on a new contract, looks awful. The guy that they bought from Norwich, what's it called? Expensive. Ben Wayne or whatever, awful. Ben Watkins, not Ben Watkins. Watkins looks like a championship striker. It's average at best. But what's it called? We'll watch the space on Gerrard's situation. But well done to Potter, well done to Chelsea and Mount. And then moving on there to
Villa. I don't know what's going on with Villa today.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, the main problem is Gerrard. I feel like Gerrard has chopped and changed so much. And now
he can't get the best, because for me, I think Bailey has to play a bit more, because he gives them a bit more of a proper winger.
Bailey could barely keep fit, and that's the problem as well. Villa.
All
the wingers of Villa.
There isn't none. That's what I'm saying. He's the only one that's kind of recognised, because those two, Coutinho and the one from Norwich, they're not really wingers. They're more attacking kind of midfield.
Yeah,
and then the strikers are average. That's what's they're gonna have. It's a long season for them.
Definitely a long season.
Be careful. Gerrard has to be careful. But moving on to Old Trafford, where it was a tale of poor refereeing and VAR. For me, even though I don't like Man United, they were unlucky not to get 2 penalties there still. The one on Ronaldo possibly, but the one on Sancho definitely. Even Newcastle should have had a penalty. No.
There. Newcastle should have got a penalty as well. That was
when Varane was done by Wilson there. So for me, it was a tale of what's it called? Poor officiating once again in the Premiership and VAR.
Not enough quality. Look, I've watched.
They need a striker.
I've watched out for a striker. Extended the highlights of the game. Man United and even Newcastle as well.
What a miss!
You know, even they need a striker as well. Newcastle as well. I know they got my guy Isaac, who's injured, but the game just lacks that quality.
I think they missed Sam Maximan as well, because Murphy.
He's been gone for a while, man. I don't know what's going on this season. He's been injured for a while this season.
I think he needs to try and sort that out, because he had a few of those last season, but now this
season he's looking a bit longer. He's looking a bit longer.
He needs to, as you said, he needs to sort it out. But at this rate, what's it called? It shows, and Ten Hag is having the same kind of problem as a bit more than Arsenal. He's playing virtually almost the same team every game. That's in what's it called, Europa League. I'm not talking about even in the Premiership. Europa League, it's almost the same. The only change possibly in the defense is if there's an injury or the young left back has been dropped for sure. It's almost the same three at the back.
But you look at United. Okay, go on. Who can they swap the goalkeeper with? When there's no De Gea, who comes in?
You might keep the goalkeeper possibly, but I'm just saying that.
Okay.
Money if they spent that, all of a sudden now there's no. It's a shocker. My goodness. Can they buy that Debraka or whatever on a free transfer from Newcastle?
The Debraka is not bad still.
Who the hell are they playing in Europa League, for goodness sake? That they're struggling with 38 shots against Nicosia or whatever.
Oh, the goalkeeper, brilliant from him. But
let's not go like they're playing any of a group of death in the Champions League of Inter Milan, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich.
It shows you how they're falling. I keep telling United fans.
The mighty have fallen.
They used to laugh at Arsenal fans. You ain't won it since the Invincibles. You ain't done that. It's me. Now the last time you won is looking like a distant memory as well.
There you go.
You know, so get used to it now.
There you are. As you said.
But for me, United need a striker though. Or
definitely.
United needs.
Both teams, as you said. Both teams need to.
United needs a striker. I love Ronaldo. I love Ronaldo. But Ronaldo needs to go to France, play in the French league, where it's a bit easier.
You can't afford him.
No. Because he wants to be in the league. He wants to play the Champions League and get some goals. Play in the league so you can play in France where you can get some goals.
Go back to Portugal.
Well,
take a pay cut.
Yeah. Take a pay cut. Go to Lisbon and play in the Champions League, and you still could get goals. But
there you go.
I just feel like in this league, like, because the thing is, every minute now Ronaldo's always outside. He's always offside now. Ronaldo's always offside a lot these days. And And I know why he's doing that. He's trying to make up for the pace, for lack of pace. But United need to move on from him. United need a striker.
Definitely. And what's it called? One thing on Newcastle. That's another hard team to beat. They've lost less games than Liverpool and Man United there still, and they have the tightest defense in the Premiership.
They do.
Remember, remember your
Trippier and
friends.
Shaw.
Remember your and Burns. Remember your friends last season. Wolves having that kind of tag, and we know what happened with Wolves later on. But anyway,
Well, we know what happened with them this weekend, though.
Later.
We know what we happened this weekend.
Yeah, well, they scraped it, but definitely, what's it called? Definitely, we'll keep an eye on that. What happens there still? Let's quickly run through the games because of the time permitting. Hopefully, Southgate, were you watching on Friday there? Because I don't know if you went to that game, Brentford versus Brighton there. If Tony can't get on that plane to Qatar or whatever, then Southgate is useless. Because for me,
we already know Southgate is useless, though. We already know the guy is useless.
Well, I just have to say what I see. But anyway, going back, if on form-wise this so-called season, Tony is ahead of Abraham. Abraham has struggled this season.
Yeah, Abraham's having a bad season. He's
bias or no bias, we have to be truthful. If it's a choice between two of them, I'm taking Tony. And also, Tony's penalty technique, I think, is it 20 from 20? Or I heard even further, it was 29 from 29.
29.
Brilliant from him still there. So, for me, it was a good answer.
But you know how it is. He goes to the World Cup with England, penalty shootouts, they bring on Tony, and then he gets his first miss. The curse of England. You know how it is.
And we know how social media will turn on them, just like what happened with the England boys, young boys against Italy in Euro final. But that was a big wake-up call for Brighton there. But I mean, what's it called? That they thought they were motoring and stuff under the new manager, but pressure. And Brentford needed that win anyway because they were a big beating by Newcastle previously, and then they were struggling to.
The form's been a bit sketchy.
There you go. But they both will definitely be safe from relegation.
Definitely.
What's it called? Brighton maybe mid-table or something, and Brentford will be trying to see if they can.
But you could see how Brighton they miss Potter, man, because game Brentford Brighton with Potter there, that he wouldn't have gone down that way.
Nah,
it wouldn't have gone down that way. Just my take anyway.
That's true. Moving on to Leicester. He's on borrowed time. I don't want to keep mentioning the struggling PM, but I don't know which one will go first. Will it be Liz Frost or will it be Brendan Rodgers? Both of them are on borrowed time. What's happening to Leicester? Leicester is like an old suit that you keep bringing back on when you go out. They're just going there for the flow. There's no enthusiasm anymore.
But guess what? They moved up the table, the 19th.
Well, it's only because of what's it called, of lack of trying, because of the other teams doing rubbish. But for me, Palace, what's it called, was slightly the better team there. I mean, it was so desperate Madison had to dive in the last minute in front of Madison had to dive in the last minute in front of Southgate. Was that good enough to get him on the plane, on the tarmac?
No, but listen, I've had this discussion many times. So I'm going to keep it brief with Brendan Rodgers and stuff. But I would just say he's the main problem. You had this weekend, you had a Martin defense. And then
the same thing.
Wait. You had a Martin defense, and you had a guy from the French league, Fees. I've never heard of him, so I wouldn't.
He played well.
He played well, but I've never heard of him before. I wouldn't lie. You bring him to a new league. You got two international players that you've frozen their careers. Now they can't even play for the country, and so you can. And Vestergaard, these players are saying they are fit, they're ready, they're training hard. How are you not playing them? You decided to freeze them out, and even this guy as well has been on Leicester too long. Ayoze Perez. I remember when Ayoze Perez used to score goals at Newcastle. There's nothing the guy could do to start a game. The guy only started 7 games last season. Brendan Rodgers has got this thing, and I'm starting not to. I used to like him.
Personal issues.
Yeah, and I hate managers that
do that.
That where they put their heart for the team. You bring the team, you make the team progress, and at the end of the season, like I keep using this example, the same example. Conte at Chelsea. You used Diego Costa when he did, won the league. Oh, thank you, my friend.
And send him a WhatsApp.
Send him a WhatsApp message. Okay, get out. You're done. Do the same thing. You're making Leicester. You're punishing Leicester. Ignatius can't even get 5 minutes. In fact, these players, in fact, I keep blaming Rodgers, but you know what? Let me take that back. These players, they lack ambition because
that's what I'm saying. You have to leave. But Leicester, just like Villa, with Gerrard at Villa, Leicester
it's worse.
Yeah, I know it's worse, but they both got a decision in the Midlands and to make a decision between now and before the World Cup or just after the World Cup starts or finishes on what they're going to do with their managers. Right. Moving on quickly to the goals galore at the Craven Cottage there. Mitrovic returned from injury and got a goal there from the penalty spot, even though it was a dodgy penalty. But Bournemouth unbeaten in 5 since they got rid of Scott Parker, and they still haven't got a new manager. But the way this guy's putting himself in the shop window, Gary O'Neill,
you let it play out. You let
it play out for a little bit longer.
You let it play out. You want to change what he's doing, and you see how that's probably worked. Imagine as well. You can Scott Parker, you're screwing watching the TV.
But both teams, Fulham will avoid relegation. Bournemouth,
they should.
Bournemouth will still be on the brink, even though they're in good form. Moving on to a team that needed. They found one baby tooth or something.
Oh, you're such a hater, man. You're such a hater.
No, I'm not hating them. I'm just saying that with what they spent on the Portuguese FC,
maybe a long time ago, a Portuguese girl broke your heart there. Wow. My goodness, maybe. Was that what happened there in Portugal there? What happened?
You know, between Stockholm and Vauxhall, Portuguese High Street. Not really, I'm joking. But anyway, yes, Wolves had to be a penalty to find the net. Because in open play, Wolves look poor in open play.
I don't know. Sorry? Do you know what? It's so because they hadn't scored in 4 games. My thing with they got so much technical ability though. I don't understand how.
But it's just not. It's nice having, but they need that finisher. Costa's all right, but the legs are old. What's it called? There's something that they need to do. But that game was a must-win game for Wolves, and it was a must-not-lose game for Nottingham Forest. They missed a penalty, even though their goalkeeper for Wolves, Sarr, is very good for a penalty saver as well, just like Henderson at Nottingham Forest and stuff. But yeah, they needed that anyway. But Forest, even though they handed a new contract to the manager, Forest with their 23 or 24 new players, they don't even know what they're doing. Lingard hasn't started the game or come on in the last 3 or 4.
Yeah, no. They came
1-year contracts.
No, he came on this game. He came on, I think, the last 20.
He must have been a ghost.
He came on, and even Finger as well. Interesting. Bowley is at Nottingham Forest as well.
Yeah, that's what. Who isn't at Nottingham Forest? Isn't the erratic experts right back at Nottingham Forest?
Oh yeah, my guy Oria. Yes, he is.
Yeah. So who isn't? How much did they buy that guy from? How much did they buy the guy from Wolves for?
44 million. Gibbs been wherever.
Goodness sake, Forest. Anyway, enough said about that. For me, they're definitely one of the team. They're definitely one of the 3 that are going down anyway.
I tell you. If I was managing Forest, a football manager there, they're all sold as well. End of the season.
Yeah, definitely. They're rubbish.